Hey kids, welcome to the first episode of the Entrepreneurial Mind. I will be introducing Dr. Jeff Cornwall, the main host today, and getting a little bit of his background, where he's from, what he does outside of hosting the show, right after these words from our sponsor.
Bandwidth for today's show is brought to you by SoftLayer.com. We love SoftLayer here at Talkapolis. They are the greatest hosting company ever. They make everything easy. Check out their website at SoftLayer.com. Thanks again for sponsoring the show.
Talkapolis, the social media TV network for your city.
Congratulations on making it through all of those sponsors. I'm here with Dr. Jeff Cornwall. He is the main host, the main I don't want to say interrogator, interviewer, because you're not going to be just trying to suck information. The main conversationalist here at the Entrepreneurial Mind. We will from time to time be doing episodes, just the two of us, where we'll talk about your blog, videos that you've done. Today we just want to do a little bit of background introduction. You, from looking at the brief bio that I got to look at, have been in the entrepreneur business, would you like to call it that? Sure. Entrepreneur field? Yeah. Since you were a child, working with your father, yeah, right?
Since I was a little squirt, yep.
And then you're currently at Belmont.
Correct.
And are you the head of the entrepreneurship over there, or are you just one of the professors?
I'm right now the director of the Center for Entrepreneurship, okay, and I'm one of the professors.
So you're wearing two hats?
I'm wearing several hats, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And I believe earlier I heard someone, it may have been yourself, say you won Teacher of the Year.
Yeah, I did.
So that makes you the best.
Or maybe the most well-connected and know the most skeletons in people's closets. I don't know which.
So the best.
All right, the best.
Okay, we'll stick with that.
All right.
So you've how many businesses do you think you've been involved with over the years? If you had just a rough number, it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be 27, but you could say.
It was probably over 20.
Over 20?
Yeah.
That's well more than I have done.
Yeah.
What at Belmont? What are the ideas and some of the principles that you try and pass along to the kids that are in the entrepreneurship program there?
Well, what we try to do is take a lot of students who come in very idealistic and kind of with a Pollyannish view of how this thing all works, and really try to get them down to reality. And so we spend a lot of time experientially getting them understanding what it really takes to find a good idea and develop that idea and launch that business and grow a successful venture. And we try to get them through a series of experiential things in the classroom and outside the classroom to kind of get their hands dirty and learn the skills, but also learn how hard it can be to do this. We want to get them down from sort of the idealistic view of the world down to a realistic view by the time they graduate.
Okay. And I would imagine when you say a lot of them come in with the Pollyanna view, what have you found is there a large disconnect between what they expect to be as far as the difficulty of getting a business up and going and what the reality is of it? Like, is there just a huge gap there, or do some of them kind of have the thought in mind that there's a good chance my first one's going to fail?
Most of the time, by the time they have an idea that they're excited about, they don't think it can fail. You know, like what could possibly go wrong with this? I mean, it's so obvious to them about how well it could work, and that's not unique to a student. I mean, that's true with every entrepreneur I've ever worked with in my life, and it's been true of me. You know, you fall in love with ideas.
You kind of have to have that enthusiasm to follow through with it, especially
and the long days and the long nights and everything. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and the first, how long would you say on average does it take to get a business like that stabilized?
It really depends on the kind of business and the business model. I mean, it can be literally in the first month, and it can be years, depending on what kind of business it is and how receptive the market is and so forth. You know, one of the things that we try to get people to get out of the habit of doing, a lot of entrepreneurs seem to want to take a really cool thing or concept they've come up with and then try to figure out a market for it. That's a long, hard road, and that's one that's wrought with a lot of failure along the way. And we try to get them to start thinking more about the market and what's going on out there, what pain is out there, what things can't people get, or what are they not getting the right way or enough of, and how can I come up with a business model that's going to take care of that. That's a much quicker path to success than spending months or years trying to educate people why this invention of yours is so good and why they should buy it.
Okay. So thinking market first is generally the best idea.
Absolutely.
With the blog and now the show, what are the main ideas you want to communicate, or what are the main purposes you want to communicate with the show and with the interviews that we're going to be doing?
I think if I could get a hold of any entrepreneur, there's a few basic things I want them to understand. First of all, they are gnats. They are just annoying little gnats in the face of the world, and they've got to get over the fact and get comfortable with the fact that not everybody's going to be excited about what they want to do, and they're not going to be as motivated for it as they are. And they've got to understand that it's a long, hard road to kind of get the market's attention and get the market comfortable. So it's kind of putting yourself in perspective. I think it's also important for them to understand the difference between a good idea and a good business opportunity. There's a whole lot of really cool ideas that just don't work in the marketplace.
Okay.
There's not enough customers, they won't pay enough money to make it work, and maybe you can't put together the people and the skills and the resources you need to make it work. So you got to make sure before you start that it really is a good opportunity and not just a cool idea. We also want them to understand that the hardest part of being an entrepreneur is growth, and that the leading cause of business failure is growth, that entrepreneurs aren't ready once success starts to happen and aren't prepared for the business and management challenges you have growing a venture. Very few businesses fail once they get launched in the early stages. It's when they start to grow and they don't know what to do with that growth, and their customers get disgruntled and frustrated, and employees get mad, and the whole thing starts to collapse. And then finally, we want them to get to understand that money doesn't just come easily for an entrepreneur, especially in that first venture. That very few first-time entrepreneurs can hope to raise a lot of money. So we instill in them a real strong sense of the bootstrapping mentality. And what do you need to do to get this business started if you don't have much money or any money? There's still ways to do it. There's still ways to get your business launched. And so we try to get them engaged in understanding that they're going to have to bootstrap this and make it happen by themselves. They're not going to have some investor or angel come along until they've done a couple of deals, proven themselves, and are ready to demonstrate they have a track record.
Okay, so showing a little viability is going to go a long ways.
Viability not only of the deal, but viability over the long run of themselves as someone who can deliver on a deal.
Okay.
Investors bet on jockeys, not horses. And so they're not all excited about ideas. They're excited about entrepreneurs who've proven that they can implement. So the first couple deals like that, you're going to have to show that on your own, and you're going to have to show that you can do this without a whole lot of money.
Okay. Is there anything that I've missed that you think we need to let the people know that's going to go on with this show before we call it a day?
I think the only thing I would add is that I'm really excited to be able to share the entrepreneurial stories from this area. What drew me here 10 years ago is I saw this as a real potential hotbed for entrepreneurship, and it has just exploded in the 10 years I've been here. And there's a lot of hidden stories out there and a lot of really cool things going on that people don't know about.
Excellent. We look forward to you and possibly myself from time to time helping to share that. And I think that's all we've got for our initial introductory episode. Dr. Jeff Cornwall, he's going to be sailing the ship. I will be the first mate, I guess, from time to time. But that's it. Stick around for our next episode, or come back for our first full episode, which will be an interview with Dr. Jeff Cornwall, and Charlie Brock and Mike Tatum, I believe, will be here with the Tennessee Technology Conference, or did I?
Launch Tennessee.
Launch Tennessee. I apologize. I get things wrong a lot. That's all we've got for you today, and we will catch you all next time.